they found isn't just property drama, it's a story about secrecy and legacy, and I've got the details they aren't showing you. Why it stayed unsold so long. The story of Jordan's former mansion in Highland Park, Illinois, listed to surface. What was discovered and what remains hidden could change everything we thought we knew. Real estate limbo, then a
It appears not everyone wants to be like Mike.
Michael Jordan's Highland Park mansion has been on the market for some 10 years now.
Michael Jordan's mansion is at the center of a storm. Rumors of hidden rooms turned explosive when the FBI got involved. What they found isn't just property drama, it's a story about secrecy and legacy, and I've got the details they aren't showing you. Why it stayed unsold so long. The story of Jordan's former mansion in Highland Park, Illinois, listed in 2012, reads more like a saga of real estate limbo than a swift sale. When first put up for sale, it carried an asking price of US $29 million. But over the years, that price was drastically reduced, from $29 MIM to $21 M, then to $16 M, before it finally dropped to about $14.855 M in 2015.
Although, as of this week, Michael Jordan is no longer the owner of this house. After more than 12 years on the market, the home finally has a new owner.
For a property built in 1995, sprawling over 7 acres, and reportedly with 56,000 square feet of custom luxury, including a regulation-sized basketball court, infinity pool, tennis court, cigar room, and a 14-car garage, these steep reductions raise eyebrows. Why would such an expansive, amenity-rich estate fail to attract buyers for over a decade? One rational explanation, its extreme personalization. Features tailored to Jordan's tastes, from the gate to basketball court design, may have made it less appealing to typical luxury home buyers. According to real estate analysts previously interviewed, such intense customization often deters buyers seeking a blank slate rather than someone else's legacy. Another factor, maintenance costs, upkeep, and the challenge of repurposing a mansion of that scale. For many, the idea of renovating or depersonalizing a celebrity house, with its associations, size, and upkeep burden, can be unappealing. Over time, the mismatch between initial listing price and market demand may have fostered doubt, speculation, or hesitation. In that context, the long sale process reveals more than just a property on the market. It reflects how celebrity, legacy, and real estate practicality collide. The mansion's history becomes a cautionary tale about over-customized luxury, legacy baggage, and the difference between being legendary and being marketable. Break-in spotlight. What the 2023 incident revealed. In April 2023, the Highland Park Police responded to a burglary in progress call at the address long associated with Michael Jordan's former mansion. Witnesses reported seeing police, deputies, even a canine unit at the scene.
A teenager has been charged with breaking into Michael Jordan's Highland Park home on Tuesday. Police tell the Daily Herald it does not appear that the 18-year-old suspect wanted to take anything from the house, and that only a window was damaged. A minor was taken into custody. The NBA legend initially put the 7-acre home up for sale in 2012, but it has not yet been sold.
The suspect, an 18-year-old identified as Ryden H. Hagedorn, was taken into custody, along with a juvenile. Charges filed included criminal trespass to an occupied residence and 2 counts of criminal damage to property. According to reports, the damage was limited, a broken window and property damage, but no credible source described discovery of illicit materials, hidden vaults, or documents of controversy. Still, the 2023 break-in served as a rare moment of vulnerability for the property. For years, it stood largely vacant, symbolically maintained, but seldom lived in. The intrusion raised questions among observers. If the estate could be accessed once, what else might have been exposed? Files, memorabilia, things the public never saw. That speculative gap between what was officially reported and what remains unseen fuels rumor, but from an investigative standpoint, there's a clear difference between a burglary for mischief or thrill and a targeted forensic raid by authorities. In this case, no report indicates law enforcement uncovered evidence beyond vandalism and trespass. As such, the break-in remains a documented blemish on the property's recent history, not proof of scandal, but a reminder that even legendary homes are subject to real risks, neglect, intrusion, and the fragility of legacy when a house sits empty for years. Mansion as vault. Could hidden value still lie within? Given the mansion's size, customization, and history, it's natural for speculation to creep in. Could there be rare memorabilia, signed contracts, documents, or private archives stored somewhere, items that only a thorough search might uncover?
This is Jordan's guest house, and they've converted one of his rooms into like a Jordan 29 experience. So they have the shoes here.
The property, built in 1995 and renovated in 2009, included lavish touches, a full-size basketball court, a cigar room, media room, tennis court, infinity pool, and more. For a sports icon like Jordan, whose career spanned decades and included decades of endorsements, contracts, memorabilia, trophies, many fans naturally imagine the house as a physical vault for personal history. But from a factual perspective, there is no public evidence that anything like hidden files, controversial documents, or secret stashes exist, at least none that have surfaced in credible media or court records. The estate's sale in December 2024 to John Cooper fetched only US $9.5 million, a steep drop from the original asking price. This suggests that despite its lore and size, the property didn't command a premium for historical value, which might be expected if it held rare or highly valuable artifacts. Furthermore, buyers and real estate agents have reportedly debated how to handle the heavily personalized features, including Jordan-specific branding like the gate. For many prospective buyers, the burden of personalization outweighed the appeal of fame. In short, while the idea of a vault mansion is tempting, a place where history sits hidden behind walls, nothing in public record supports such a claim. The mansion remains, in legal and documented history, a large, luxurious home, not a secret archive. When ownership changes, the risk of exposure or rediscovery. A key moment came in December 2024 when the mansion was officially sold for $9.5 million, ending more than a decade of being on and off the market. The buyer, real estate executive John Cooper, closed the purchase after the property went under contract earlier that year.
Buyer of Michael Jordan's famous mansion in Chicago is making some controversial changes to remove Jordan's legacy.
With new ownership comes a shift in control, privacy, and the potential for rediscovery. Old properties, especially those belonging to public figures, often carry with them a bundle of risk, leftover personal effects, documents, outdated security systems, and sometimes negligence in clearing sensitive materials. When the house changes hands, there's a window where such items, if they exist, could be discovered, exposed, or even mishandled. For the public and media alike, this moment becomes fertile ground for rumor and speculation. Without verified audits or inventory disclosures, conjecture fills the vacuum. People ask, what did Jordan leave behind? Was everything cleared out before sale? Were records shredded or quietly stored? From an investigative standpoint, the sale doesn't validate any claims, but it resets the clock on possibility. The physical asset has transferred, but any intangible baggage, memories, memorabilia, maybe documents, could now resurface under unfamiliar management. However, there's also a practical counterpoint. The steep drop in sale price suggests that neither buyer nor seller placed high value on legacy or hidden treasure. That implies either there was nothing remarkable left behind, or anything of significance was removed before sale. Until documentation or credible reporting suggests otherwise, the mansion remains a sold property, not a revealed vault. Sale at a steep discount, what the price drop really means. One of the most telling public facts about Jordan's former mansion in Highland Park is the drastic drop from its original asking price to the final sale price, a difference that invites scrutiny and speculation. When first listed in 2012, the estate carried a price tag of US $29 million. Over the years that followed, the asking price was sequentially reduced to $21 million, then to $16 million, and by 2015, down to about $14.855 million.
A new owner will be driving through the gate with 23 on it. The Chicago Tribune reporting Michael Jordan finally sold that mansion in Highland Park. It was on the market for almost 13 years. The sale price, $9.5 million. That's several million less than his latest asking price.
Despite the fame associated with the name and the property's lavish amenities, indoor basketball court, tennis court, pool, gym, custom finishes, and the signature 23 gate, the mansion lingered on the market for more than a decade. Eventually, in December 2024, it sold for only $9.5 million. Such a steep discount, a sale price nearly one-third of the original asking, triggers many questions. Was the estate overpriced from the start? Did its heavy customization and celebrity branding hinder its market appeal rather than help it? Or did long-term vacancy, upkeep costs, and changes in real estate demand erode its value more than expected? From an investigative standpoint, this collapse in price suggests that for many buyers, the mystique of Michael Jordan's mansion proved less valuable than practical realities. maintenance costs on a sprawling 7-acre estate, the challenge of repurposing a house designed around a very specific personal lifestyle, and possibly the stigma or expectations tied to owning a celebrity's home. In that light, the final sale price is a more telling truth about the property than any rumor about hidden rooms or secret vaults. Whatever myth surrounds the house, what the market said, through a decade-long sale process, speaks volumes about value, demand, and how even legend can depreciate under real estate math. Vacancy and vulnerability. What the 2023 break-in revealed. In April 2023, the property, once the private home of a basketball legend, was the site of a burglary. Local police responded to a burglary in progress call at the estate located at 2700 Point Lane in Highland Park. An 18-year-old suspect and a juvenile accomplice were arrested. Charges included criminal trespass and property damage.
Michael's house just sold, the one in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right? I think it sold for like 9.6 million or some number like that, if I'm not mistaken. We like the house. We were interested in possibly doing something with that because the history in it.
While reports indicate the damage was limited, a broken window and general vandalism, there was no public record of any major discoveries, no secret vaults, incriminating materials, or scandalous secrets exposed. Nonetheless, the break-in stands as a moment of vulnerability, a real instance when the security and privacy of the mansion were breached. For a property of such notoriety, prolonged vacancy, and identification as a celebrity home, even a single successful burglary raises questions. Was the estate being properly maintained or monitored? Did neglect or low occupancy make it an easy target? More importantly, and more troubling from an investigative standpoint, the break-in underscores how thin the line can be between legend and exposure. In a mansion that's been empty for years, with shifting ownership and decreasing market interest, the risk of trespass, vandalism, or illicit activity increases. Any claims of hidden items or secrets become harder to verify and easier to doubt, especially if nobody is actively safeguarding the property. In that sense, the 2023 incident doesn't fuel sensationalism. It grounds the story in reality. It reveals that for all the mansion's fame and luxury, its physical security and occupancy were compromised, which makes concrete claims about what the FBI found, or could have found, far more suspect in absence of official documentation. Custom palace, hard sell, why personalization became a liability. The mansion's features are the stuff of legend. A full-size indoor basketball court built to regulation standards, a tennis court, an infinity pool, a putting green, cigar room, gym, media theater, and a 14-car garage, all atop a 7-acre estate. The craftsmanship, scale, and personalization, including a gate bearing Jordan Signature 23, reflect the lifestyle of someone who built the home for themselves, not for resale.
There's not a guy that has come into this house that their jaw doesn't drop a little. It's magical.
Yet those same hallmarks of customization may well have crippled the house's appeal on the open market. Real estate buyers at the high end often expect a clean slate, a home they can customize according to their tastes. A house so deeply associated with a specific individual and era becomes more of a museum piece than a comfortable, customizable residence. During the sale process, industry analysts and listing agents reportedly cited the heavy personalization as a significant deterrent for potential buyers. The combination of upkeep costs, unusual layout, e.g. a basketball gym rather than typical house floor plan, and the burden of rebranding may have scared off many willing to pay premium prices, especially in a real estate market where waterfront or more conventional luxury homes are preferred. From an investigative lens, this mismatch between design intent and market demand offers a plausible, mundane explanation for why a legendary mansion took over a decade to sell and eventually sold for far less than expected. In essence, the very elements that made the house unique made it impractical for many, revealing that fame and nostalgia do not always translate into real estate value. The story doesn't end at the gates of Michael Jordan's mansion. The FBI's involvement, the swirling rumors, and the secrets inside are only starting to surface. What was discovered and what remains hidden could change everything we thought we knew about Jordan's legacy. If you want every detail, every insider perspective, and the full investigation as it unfolds, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The next revelation could rewrite history.
Police have confirmed an FBI raid at a massage business.
Police busted a massage parlor in downtown Franklin.
West Alabama Human Trafficking Task Force carried out search warrants at 3 massage parlors.
Nationwide operation involving hundreds of law enforcement agencies. Well, Farmington police are looking for a massage parlor owner they believe is connected to a human trafficking operation.
That we deal with will go after the illicit massage business industry, which is the fastest growing of all trafficking in America.